What's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review, and this is of Bullet Train. You guys know this was a big movie last year, 2022. Was when it was released. It's a big movie, comedy, fighting movie. I've seen lots of trailers for it. I wanted to see it in the theaters, and I just never got around to doing that. But I finally got the chance to watch it last night, and I'm gonna put my review in it today because Noah said this was a great movie. And after the disaster that was Moonfall, I was looking for a little bit of a pick me up to finish our night of movie watching, and I was not disappointed. The cool thing about this movie is it's not all in English. A good majority of the characters speak English, but there's like songs that are dubbed in Japanese. Some of the characters only speak Japanese. There's different accents to English as well. So that's a really cool. It worked. It helps fit the setting better because, like fucking Fast and Furious, when they went to Tokyo, right? Everybody spoke English pretty much for the most part. But when this is when a bullet train goes when they're in Tokyo, they respect the natives mostly speak Japanese, and so I think that's a really cool touch. The songs dubbed in Japanese. There was only a couple. There was one at the very beginning. I think it was "Staying Alive" by the Bees Gees, and as well as what's the other one? I think it's "I Need a Hero," whatever that one's actually called. They dubbed that one too. Really cool. They're really good songs in the dub as well. They're good songs normally, but in Japanese they're great too. So that was a really cool, epic touch in the movie, I thought. And there's a lot. When they say this is a fighting movie, this is a fighting movie. There is a lot of action in this movie. Because there's like a good 10 characters on this train that fight. Well, let's see. The lemon guy, the tangerine guy, Kenny Chesney, the British girls impersonating a child, the dad who wants to get to kill somebody for his son, the Hornet lady, the wolf guy, the White Death, the grandpa, and yeah, I think that's it. 9? So that's 9 characters? 9. Maybe more. Maybe less than that. Well, there's definitely not less, more. Oh, wait, the guy who died really at the beginning and just sat there with his rotting corpse. That's 10. 10 guys. And they're all on this train. And of course, there's other people. But most of them are gone by the end of the movie. But I mean, they're all trying to fucking kill each other over this. It's not really defined at the beginning of the movie that they're actually fighting over a briefcase. It takes a while before we learn that they're all collectively going towards this briefcase. We learn at the briefcase's origins. We know like why it's going after. We don't realize all of them are going after. And I mean, we're even learning about new characters late into the movie. Like we learn about them, and then we finally get introduced to them and stuff like that. There's always a piece of suspense, a new plot twist, piece of suspense that we have to listen because there's so many storylines that we have to follow during the movie. And honestly, done well, like this movie did, it works really good. Because, and I think that's the importance of having this setting on a train. And it's always on a train or at the train station, unless it's the flashbacks. It's on the train station or the train, or by the train or whatnot. It's a central location. So that all of these stories, all these characters, and with their different side stories lines, have to meet. And that's the importance of having it on a train, I think. It's really cool. But like I said, it's suspenseful. There's a lot of action. It's also gory. Lots of gore. So if you're planning on watching this movie with young children, maybe refrain from doing that until they're a little older, unless you know they can handle it. Just a heads up there. But even with all of that, it's still really funny. There's a lot of good one-liners, lots of good jokes, and a lot of like funny skits that fit into the fights, and there's like all this funny stuff. And a lot of that comes from the main character, which is the Kenny Chesney looking guy. But a lot of it comes from the other characters as well. I think everybody had their own sense of humor too. Well, most of them, like maybe the White Death didn't, maybe the Grandpa didn't, but most of the ones that get the majority of the screen time compared to the rest of the other main characters, they get the good humor and they do it pretty good, I think. And there's a lot, so many characters intertwining all throughout this movie. It did seem to drag on a little bit, but I say only a little bit. And because it did seem like, when it was down, like what was his name? Lemon? His name's Lemon. He supposedly, he drinks poison, dies, gets shot to die for good, survives that, and then he jumps off the train with one of the bad guys into the water, survived that, and so he just seemed to come back way too many times. The other guy, the sidekick, Tangerine, he jumps onto the train. There was no way in fucking hell that the bullet train was going like this, and he's jumping like this. There's no fucking way he just like levied it all the way over there. No fucking way that happened. And there's like the girl, she came back way too many times, and then the other guy, the dad lived, and it just seemed to, and then in the morning, like when the sun came up, and I don't know, it just seemed to drag on a little too long. But honestly, because of all the plot twists, because of all the fighting, because of all the suspense, and because of the fact that, because of all that, I still think it was very interesting. It definitely still dragged on, but it was a good kind of dragging on. They filled it with stuff that was good and necessary to the plot, unlike fucking Moonfall, who's just trying to fucking derange themselves into fucking an insane asylum. But it's all really good stuff. The actors did a really good job for these characters, to put a great effort into them. I gotta credit them for that. Even like the really small side characters did a great job at it too. This is definitely a movie that I would recommend to rewatch, so that you kind of get what's going on earlier in the movie. I think that'll allow you to appreciate it more, allow you to appreciate it in full, instead of just near the end, like between like the middle and the end, because definitely confused me at the beginning what was going on, because we were getting introduced to everything. But as the movie went on, I definitely got more acclimated to everything and was able to enjoy it more. So I definitely would recommend a rewatch of this one for that reason. But that's... sorry about that. Anyways, that's my review of Bullet Train. My final score, this is easy, a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 movie for me. Hell, I might have to go 10 out of 10. Fuck it, I'll go 10 out of 10. That's a good one. This movie is definitely deserving of a 10 out of 10. For good reason. I would totally recommend this movie. It's definitely not for the light of heart, because lots of gore. But it's not like all gore. It's still a good watch, and it's a good story. Fun characters, good setting. Everything's awesome about it. So. If you've ever seen Bullet Train, I'd like to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen it, you better get on that, because it's a really good watch. But that's going to do it with this movie review. Again, stay tuned for much more amazing content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.